Yo, it's been a while since I made a video. Been really busy in my work and gaming. But I recently got a chance to watch Dune in the premiere day. Finally, cinemas in Malaysia are back. Thank God. I want to give a shout out to Oxford for the free ticket. Thank you very much. Also, this is not a sponsored post. I'm gonna keep this ticket because it's so well designed. Can you see the glitter here? There's no way I'm gonna throw it, man. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get into the non-spoiler review of Dune. So prior to this movie, I don't know much about Dune. All I know was that it was based on a novel. There was a movie adaptation back in the 80s, I believe. And there's a big ass giant sandworm. To be honest, it's very hard to review this movie because this movie, from what I understand, is based on the first half of the book. So in a way, you can say that it's kind of like Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, part 1. So yes, Dune in this movie is just part 1. So what I'm gonna do here is just to tell you what Dune feels like for a non-Dune fan. I'm just gonna tell you my experience with this movie without much spoilers as I can. So here it goes. So the first thing that I really want to emphasize is that if you're planning to watch this movie, you must watch it in the cinemas because it is made for the cinemas. The cinematography, the sound effects, the atmosphere, it's so out of the world. Like Dune is just a totally different world from what we've all experienced. We have seen a lot of sci-fi world created, right, and displayed in front of our eyes, but Dune is really special, and this is a very big props to Denis, what's the director's name again? Denis Villeneuve. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name, but he's the same guy who directed Blade Runner 2049 back in 2017, which was my favorite movie of that year. He also directed Arrival, fantastic sci-fi movie, and he also directed Sicario, very good. It's a very good movie, guys. So the duration of Dune is about 2 hours, and it feels long, but I feel like I was absorbed into this Dune world, right? So many stars in this film. You have Jason Momoa, you have Oscar Isaac, Dave Bautista, you have Zendaya, Josh Brolin, and of course you have the main character Timothée Chalamet. Sorry if I butchered that name again. And I must say all the actors did their role very well. There's nothing much to complain. Speaking of being a soap to the world, Dune is a very complex movie. It's not the kind of film that you can just switch off your brain and just enjoy what it is. You really need to pay a lot of attention, especially if you are new to this franchise, especially in the first 30 minutes, I think, where the movie sets up and explains what is this planet, who are these people, who are the tribes, what's their role. And believe me, you know, once you have settled in, you are going in for a ride of the sense of Dune. Another fascinating thing about Dune is that the sci-fi world that it portrays is so different because it's set in the very far future. Like the technology that they have is just mind-blowing. I really never thought that I would see this vehicle. It's a helicopter dragonfly, right? I think it's called the ornithopter. You know, when I saw that vehicle, I was like, wow, that is really cool, but is it really possible in real life? Like, does it break the law of physics? It's freaking cool. Also, another interesting thing that I noticed is that the armies in Dune, you know, they have their own clans and whatever. When they fight, they use blades. They use blades to fight. They do have guns in the movie, but you know, using blades is just the preferred way of fighting. I think for some people they may think like, why aren't they using guns? It's a sci-fi movie, pew pew pew. Hey man, if they're using blades for the glory of battle or the battle, cause I'm in for it, it's cool. So, should you watch Dune? I think it really depends on your movie preference. I get that feeling like, wow, I feel like I've just watched Blade Runner 2049 because, as I said, it's directed by the same guy. And I think that's what Dune achieves so much. It can really get you hooked to the movie, the absorption of the world. If you're a guy or girl that generally likes sci-fi movies, I think you should really give this movie a chance. It's just wonderfully made for the cinema. If you're watching at home, I think you won't have that same experience that I had. It's the reason to go back to the cinemas, and even more so, just watch it in IMAX, guys. This movie is just part one. It almost feels like Warner Bros. Is trying to set up another epic sci-fi movie franchise, just like Lord of the Rings, that kind of feel. Even though that looks like the case, it has not been confirmed that there will be a part 2 yet. I hope they do make a part 2. Please make a part 2. But for a part 2 to happen, a part 1 must be successful, and that's where you come in, guys. If you love sci-fi, please go watch this in the cinema, support them. It's worth your time, it's worth the cinema experience. So have you watched Dune, and what's your favorite thing about Dune if you have watched it already? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm Abel, signing out until next time. Ciao.